US premiere of the Axopar 29 CCX here on American soil. Let's step on board and see what sort of magic we've done on it. So what's different from the 29 CCX we showed in Cannes? Well, of course, obviously, we're doing the twin 200 V6 Mercury Verado engines on this one. This boat especially is best powered by the dual engines. I love the V10, the single engine, that's a European version, but here in America, it's always about twin engines. The power, the torque, the dual propellers in the water that gives the perfect match for the sportiness and agile handling of the CCX. So what is the fishing version we're talking about on the 29 CCX? Well, you already see this boat kitted out with Livewells on the fender box. You're seeing a huge Livewell and tackle station, replacing the 4 forward-facing seats that become a standard, the full fishing gear and rod holders all around, and a new addition as terms of functionality. The Axopar 29 CCX is the most versatile and most modular boat in the world. The Axopar 29 CCX can give you 7 different deck variations so that we can cater for the largest audience and the largest demand of versatile, multifunctional, but still with utility in focus, drivability, sociability, driving in any day conditions. Let's have a look at all the myriad of options that we can offer on the boat as well. So I hope you've already had the chance and the opportunity to have a look at the walkthrough video I did of the 29 CCX in Cannes. So what did we do differently and why do we showcase the fishing edition of the CCX in the condition it is right now? We wanted to bring to the United States the most versatile, functional, utilitarian center console boat out there. We know that if you're a devoted fisherman, you would not have the upholstery like we have on this boat. You would not have the soft decking like we have on this boat. And you would probably not also have the water ski frame on this boat. But we just wanted to showcase to our customers the myriad of opportunities and possibilities you can do on board on the 29 CCX. How to show that this boat can cater for any sort of everyday conditions and everyday use without taking away the serious potential and possibility to go catch the big ones out there. So what did we do differently? To give you an idea, now we made this into a full sun lounge area. But of course, the table and the sun deck is removable. What we also did underneath this partition is that we now have a catch box in here. So you can fill it up with ice. It has its own macerator. It's just open up the hatches in here and you have full access for the storage. But if you want to have a foredeck that is clear, you can of course opt not to have the catch box in here and you can opt not to have the table or anything. So this area around here, you will have the full opportunity to stand up and fish. But why we actually kept these 2 L-shaped cushions is also for the storage. But I also know that there are fishermen, when you don't have the cushions in place, that you will be standing up here and also fishing. So we wanted to have 2 different heights on the boat where you can stand up and fish. One in this elevated position and the second one at this position as well. So the one thing with the 29 CCX, we wanted to keep the forward raked windshield. And the forward raked windshield, as I also explained in the walkthrough video of Cannes, is that it creates a lot of dynamic and a lot of help for you as a pilot. The forward raked windscreen, first of all, keeps away droplets of water in a better way than a vertical windshield or a windshield that is raked backwards. Secondly, it actually elongates the roof. So this creates a better sun protection from me in the helm position. It creates more shelter. And the one thing, the main thing, we were able to do with this, which also of course creates the Axopar authentic, instantly recognizable look, but also in that we did not need to cut out the windshield like you see on many other conventional center console boats. Because the roof is longer, we now have a possibility to ram air in through a skylight. And it will still hit you as a driver and keep you cool while driving. Light bars are optional. We have the searchlights optional. You can choose between an open radome radar or a halo radar. You can also have outriggers. So in that sense, everything is made for the full tournament fishing readiness, but with that Axopar approach and style. In addition, what's different with the CCX compared to the Axopar 29 Suntop that is next to me is that the deck itself, it's its complete own molding, and we raised the deck level so that we have easier walk around ability. We have sheltered and hidden guardrails all around the boat so you don't have anything that will snag your line. And also the upholstered cushions so that when you're out there catching the big one, you're always going to be, met by not by hard glass fiber, but with a soft decking and a soft cushion. We have some few additional rod holders on the side. What you can actually also equip the boat with for the multifunctionality is that you can have on the starboard side fender box, instead of the Livewell or the standard fender box, you can today also get the wet bar that we showcased in Cannes. So a top-loading fridge, a sink, and the Magna grill that you do together with the Burnewiin fixing. So that's of course also one addition that you can have on this multifunctional utilitarian 29 CCX. Having a look at the back, we have floodlights facing backwards, floodlights facing forwards, all to get you nighttime fishing, coming into the docks at night, give you the safety and walkability all around the boat so that you are not having any sort of dark areas around. We have upgraded the audio system, so this boat really has a nice volume and a nice sound setting when you're behind a protected windshield. So that is something you need to try for yourself, of course. But now let's step on board and I'm going to show you a bit about the Livewells and the baitwells that we've done on the boat. Okay, so we have a 120-liter main Livewell in here. It's all operated by a sea chest. I'm going to show you that one later. But one big baitwell in here. And in addition, you could also have a small Livewell on the side. So instead of having the fender box I just mentioned, you will now have a possibility for a Livewell even in this location, or the wet bar that I mentioned. In addition, the aft deck, this is a new solution we've come up with. And sometimes an easy solution takes a lot of time to do. And this was exactly the same thing that happened to us. So to find a functional aft sofa or leaning post that we can, true to our modularity, fix on any of the 29s, not only on the CCX, this is the result. So we have today a forward-facing sofa that you can easily fold away, positioned in a position that is very close to the engines. In that way, we can utilize all this massive deck area of the boat, or we can even add this leaning post and sofa on the 29 Suntop with the Comfort U sofa as well. And you can still access all the hatches and get to the technical areas and all the storage areas underneath. But again, how can we make a sofa that is this close to the engines when you need to be able to tilt them? Now I'm going to show you the small, simple magic that we've done. Behind here, you will see a small rod. And when I pull this one backwards, it gives me the possibility to tilt it forward. So now I have the full ability to tilt up the engines, get them clear out of the water. Very simple solution. Pull it back, pull the rod forward, secure it in place, stable, ready to go. When you take the boat as a fishing version, you will not have cushions in here, but you will have a soft decking material, or you can go with a plain GRP. In addition, we also incorporated on this one small aft gates. Perfect if you have any animals on board, just to make sure that they are not falling overboard. The one thing with an Axopar is always that we have a flush deck, so that if you, in the eventuality, you would ever have water on the deck, the water will escape immediately through the big scuppers in the back, and if you would have massive amounts of water, it will just drain out through the rear. So that's one of the safety things on an Axopar. The boat is CE categorized into category B, which means offshore category in Europe, which means the highest wave is going to be up to 4 meters. That is a massive condition, but the boat has been CE rated for these type of conditions. Always bearing in mind safety and speed you will always as a skipper need to adjust that to the conditions. But the boat, in terms of certification, are made for rougher conditions out at sea. That's also one of the reasons we wanted to have this fully enclosed windshield, because when you're getting out there and the weather turns nasty, you really want to be protected by the helm. The one thing also, when we removed the need for having an openable windshield, you can easily feel the breeze coming in through the skylight. I have clear visual view from the helm. What we also did here, and let's have an inlay on that, we also did a small icing that is extending the spray protection to this area, coming all the way up here, so that when the weather is really bad, you can be fully protected from the sides from any spray, wind or rain. We always want to hear customer feedback. I want to show you something that we've done based on the customer feedback. Horn button is always in one position where I can easily access and I don't have to go through the buttons. It's always the first one I can hit. Same goes with the wiper. The wiper is always the first button with my thumb that I can operate without any questions, without any having need to look at. But also nighttime driving. We have a dimmer button now incorporated, and it's this one. So for nighttime driving, we incorporated dimmable functions on all the panels and all the lights we have up here and on the side. So pushing down the dim, I'm actually dimming not only the function light, but also the signage. I can, of course, quickly press it once and it completely shuts off. But again, if I want to have daytime visibility, I just hold down the dimmer lights and I'm getting the lights back on. These also function for all the spotlights and the ambient lights that I'm having on board. So now when we have the roof spotlights, for example, holding down the button will also give me a possibility to dim or brighten the lights. So we also separated the lights from each other. So the work lights we actually put up on the roof. So we have the light bar, the floodlights, bow and aft. And as I said, the dimming function also works here. So I can easily dim down the lights until 0, or I can also go back again, or I can completely kill them off for nighttime driving. And as you are already familiar with the 29s, the suntop and the cross cabin, underneath the pilot seat or the helm seat, we will have a top-loading fridge, still accessible in the same fashion as we have on the cross cabin and on the suntop, and also the small storage area and sink underneath this one. And also on the Livewell, of course, we have a sink with a cutting board. So the cutting board you can place anywhere, do your stuff, or it has its own dedicated storage underneath to get it out of the way. Tackle stations, rod, all the tackle you need, all the material you need for your rods and lines, all are in this area. Then let's have a look at the sea chest. So the sea chest is actually found in here. We have stations for 4 trolling rods on the sides. Here you can actually see the storage for fenders, and here you also see the preparations for a seakeeper or a gyro. But on the side, the real thing that I wanted to show you is that we also made a sea chest. The sea chest takes care of all the water maintenance on the boat for both of the live wells. And it's actually getting through one big true hull fitting. This true hull fitting is actually made out of composite, so it's also more secure than the brass ones that usually are used. We've put a lot of effort and focus in developing this in order to have a secure, functioning system that can cater and take care of the water amount that we need. How do you manage all the live wells and bait wells? Well, here behind the pilot seat, we actually have a control panel. Without unlocking the functionality, I cannot do anything. So there will not be any sort of position or possibility that you might by accident activate anything if you do not unlock the system first. Here I have all the live well fender box filling and circulations. I have the lights for the live well, and I also have the drains. And in addition, we also have a deck wash system now incorporated, also fueled by the sea chest. So also available as an option is, of course, the Simrad ultra-wide screens, the new ones that were launched this year. Dual setup on the helm of the 29 CCX. This is a true partner for taking you out for a good day fishing or just navigating around any waters all around the world. So the one thing is also very unique with the 29 is the multi-cabin. This is now kitted out as an occasional overnighting. When you step inside through the wooden steps, you actually have a hidden toilet and you have a hidden sink all inside. All the technical installations are hidden behind the panels and the mirror. And to make this into a bed, it's very simple. You just fold down the step and you turn down this, and now I have fully sleeping for 2 persons for that occasional overnighting. So this is something, get on the boats, spend your time in here, look through the boat because there are so many hidden, cool, small features throughout the boat that we've taken from these 10 years of development, 10 years of knowledge and feedback from our customers. So, going all in fishing, we also have installed a bracket for the Minn Kota system. To access it and to give you a bit of a view, I just unlock the pin, I unlock it from here, I fold the Minn Kota forward, and now I have full access into the anchor locker. And here you can see how we made a bracket that can cater for the Minn Kota. All the battery management and everything is underneath this storage in front. So, all to take you out for a nice day of fishing. And here's also another thing that actually helps you and helps the Minn Kota to stay in place. We have a lower silhouette on our boat than many of the other boats. We have a bit of a lower silhouette also on the hull side, so the windage of this boat is actually less than many of the other boats out there. So the Minn Kota will work more efficiently keeping the boat in place or keeping it on the heading and track that you set on it. So I hope you enjoyed this short walkthrough of the 29 CCX, the fishing version here at Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show. But if there's something, now I feel that we have a complete range of the 29s with the cross cabin, with the Suntop, and now with the CCX. So I welcome you to any boat show on US soil or anywhere in Europe or around the world to have a look for yourself what we and our team have been developing in the 10 years to come. And we are so excited to be able to show you the next 10 years coming out of Axopar because you have not seen anything coming from us yet.